Hi everyone, how was my last tutorial about a typical dialogue between a waiter and a customer in a restaurant? Do write your comments in the comment section. I welcome the new subscribers to my channel. Please note that I am covering the German A1 level course in my tutorials. The course itself is not so long, but I'm trying to cover all the necessary topics. So it is important for all subscribers to watch the tutorials from the beginning so that you can understand them better. Now, before studying today's tutorial, please first check my tutorial 9 on the numbers, tutorial 14 on the German grammar cases, and tutorial 21 on the regular verbs in the German language. In this tutorial, I am going to repeat and revise the German grammar cases and introduce to you a new grammar case. So let's have a look. So when I started learning German, I was also confused about why there are grammar cases. Now, after learning, I understood that the cases in German help to explain the relationship between the subject, which can be one or more subjects, and object, again one or more objects, which are usually nouns, in the German sentences and questions. So there are 3 cases in the German language: the nominative, the accusative, and what I'm going to introduce to you, the dative case. So in the most basic nominative case, the subject is the most important part of the sentence or the question. Now this subject can be a person or a thing. This subject, which is a noun, will have a certain definite or indefinite article depending on the gender of that noun. So, as I mentioned in my previous tutorials also, all German nouns have genders. So they can be masculine, feminine, or neutral. And not only people, but things will also have genders. So if we take the example of the subject being a person, then the question that is important to note in this nominative case is who. So who in the nominative case is wer in German. So if we take this in an example, who is that will be wer ist das, to which I can say das ist der Junge. Now because I have mentioned der it means that this noun is a masculine noun and it is a boy. So I am saying that is the boy. So this definite article that each noun has, der, die, das, and die in plural, are actually the English the. So the English the can have these forms in the German language depending on the gender of the nouns. So it is der Junge. Then if I want to say he is called Anton, that he is the personal pronoun, which is er. I, you informal and you formal, sie, he, she, it, er, sie, es, wir is we, ihr is two or more people that I'm talking to, and sie is they. So er, meaning he, is called Anton. Er heißt Anton. Now, if I want to use an indefinite article instead of a definite, say that is a boy, then I will put ein instead of der and say das ist ein Junge. Er heißt Anton. Then if the subject is an object or a thing, then the question is what or was in German. So was ist das? What is that? Das ist das Haus. That is the house. Or in place of das, if I want to say that is a house, das ist ein Haus. So the a in the English language or the an that is sometimes used can have ein, eine, ein forms in the German nominative case. The house, I can say here also das Haus, but if I want to say it, then I will use es. Es kostet 3.580 Euro. It, which is the house, costs 3,580 euros. So this is how definite or indefinite articles can be used, and also how the personal pronouns can be used to make simple sentences. So the nominative case is the most basic case in the German language that usually has just one subject that can be a person, or that subject can be an object or thing. Now the verbs that I've used in the sentences in the conjugated forms are sein, which is to be, heißen, which is to be called, and we use this verb heißen also when you want to say ich heiße and then comes your name, which is the other way of saying your name. And kosten, which is to cost, all these three verbs, when they're used in sentences, automatically indicate that the nominative case is being used. So moving on. So in the nominative case, you saw that there is a subject and that subject can be a person or the subject can be an object or a thing. So in the accusative case, there is a subject which is a person, but the object this time can be a person or a thing. So subject is a person, but object can be a person or a thing. So if the object is a person, then the question whom, as we use it in English, is used, which is wen in German. And if the object is a thing, then the question what is used, or was, as it's called in German. So what do I mean by a subject and an object? So have a look at this example. Tina besucht sie. Tina is visiting her. So this time I'm going to use the personal pronouns which are different for the accusative case. Sie means her. So Tina is visiting her. But then if you use this sentence, the question will be, whom is Tina visiting? Wen besucht Tina? To which you can say Tina besucht die or eine Ärztin. Tina is visiting the or a doctor, and a female doctor because the article die is being used. In this case, you saw that the subject is Tina and the object is a person this time, which is the doctor. Now let's have a look at another example where the subject is still a person, but the object is a thing. Das Mädchen trinkt ihn. The girl is drinking ihn. Now, ihn is actually him, but as I mentioned already that German nouns will have genders whether the nouns are people or even things. So, of course, this sentence will not make sense if we translate it in English because it means the girl is drinking him. But in here refers to the thing. The thing here referred to is the cocoa, which is cacao, and cacao is der Kakao. But because the accusative case is being used, therefore the der changes to den. Or instead of den, einen can be used. and we can say the girl is drinking the cocoa or the cocoa milk, or the girl is drinking a cocoa milk. So the question is not when, who is she drinking, but of course the question is was trinkt das Mädchen? What is the girl drinking? So it becomes tricky when the things have personal pronouns similar to the people. So ihn is him, but it is ihn for him as a person and ihn for a thing if that thing is a masculine noun. So the difference between nominative and accusative case is that in the nominative case, the subject is the most important. In the accusative case, the subject is still the person, but the important part is the object, which can be a person or it can be a thing. And also, in the accusative case, the definite and indefinite articles change for the masculine nouns, whether the nouns are people or things. And the personal pronouns will also change compared to the nominative case. The words that I used in the sentences here, besuchen and trinken, and most of the verbs that I've used in my previous tutorials use this accusative case. So whenever I mention that a verb uses accusative case, it means that when we use the definite or indefinite articles, they will be like this, depending on the genders of the nouns. And the personal pronouns, if they're used, they will be like as I've shown you here in this table. So that was all for today. Do stay updated for part 2 of this tutorial, in which I introduce to you the third grammar case, which is the dative case. Thank you.